So now let's understand what is DevOps and what is cloud by taking some real-time example. So can you see this website? This is the kind of application we need to build. Okay, Redbus. Okay, when this kind of application needs to be built, this has like hundreds and different kinds of features are there available. That is what, whenever there's a requirement of this, first of all, analysis of a requirement, complete requirement, what is the customer want, what are the different pages want, or what does the vendor need to see, what are the admin pages, all kind of pages are like everything A to Z is analyzed here. Once the analysis is done, the next step is designing part. Right after the designing part, everything is done, then we'll come to implementation part or coding part. The development team will be coding this. After this, the application will be tested. After the application is tested, it will be deployed onto the servers, multiple servers. Right, once it's deployed, okay, deployed to the servers, it is going live. Once it's deployed, the final step is maintaining the server. Right, all the stuff when the IT industry started, because when is cloud and DevOps, everything came into picture around like 2010. Before that, there was no cloud, no DevOps. There was something called as waterfall model. Can you see the screen, everybody? Yeah, Ramu.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, maybe previously it was waterfall model. Why do we say waterfall model? How does a waterfall model look like? Water falls from top to bottom. Once it falls to the floor, it cannot again go back. Correct? It's complicated. It's not a cyclic way. And it's complicated. Too much complicated. This process was complicated. For example, one more example, let's take it. What do you mean by, can anybody unmute yourself and tell what is an application? What is an application?
So application is nothing but the user can interact. User should interact with for some request and all, right?
Correct. For example, whatever we saw Redbus, it's an application. Can we talk like that?
Yes, it is an application only.
It's an application. Now, what is a server? What is a server?
Server is a storage place which will deploy the application actually.
Correct. So let's take this. This is an application. Okay. After the application is developed by developer and everything is tested, it will be deployed to a server. Correct. Am I right?
Yes.
So when we deploy to a server, this is where the customer will be able to, okay, interact with the application. Correct.
Yes.
So now the thing is, right, when the developer is developing an application, okay, maybe right, when he's developing it, he will be having the small server. He will be deploying there and it's working really well in his server, on his server. But when he's deploying to a live server, is it deployed to one server or multiple servers? When the application is going live, it is deployed to hundreds of servers. Correct?
Multiple servers.
Right. Who is taking care of this part of like deploying into servers and all? Guys, just be on mute if you are not talking. 1 second, let me see. Fine, maybe guys, you can interact, but just make sure that there is no background noise. This deploying the application on the server is taken by infra admin guy. Correct. So this guy comes and tells that your application tells to the developer, okay, the application whatever you are given is not working properly. Maybe he says that developer says that I have developed and tested on my server, it's working really well. I don't know why you are saying this. Okay, there is a to and fro communication gap happening. Okay, even this guy is telling the truth, even this guy is telling the truth, but there is a lot of complication. This part is called as development. This part is called as operations. Right. Initially, when this model, what they are looking for of like a model is more or less at the start, it was called as waterfall model. Okay, there was no efficient approach of like automating this process of software development lifecycle. At the end of the day, what is the main thing? We have an application here. We have a server here. Okay, application is deployed to need to be deployed to the server, and like customer will be able to access it. What does DevOps do? Initially, there was to and fro, lot of complications there. When DevOps came into picture, what they did, they introduced lot of tools and approaches and concepts to make sure that this software development lifecycle is very smooth and effective. That is when that culture, we call it as DevOps. For example, okay, right now this pipeline, okay, this is more of a complex pipeline, software development lifecycle. Okay, maybe I just want you guys to answer. Maybe for example, if this is a complex pipeline, if there is any kind of blockage anywhere, you cannot see the pipeline. Okay, what is the first solution you will do? And anybody can unmute and answer. For example, if there is a blockage in a pipeline, you have a water pipeline at your home. Okay,
We will
there's a
try
block.
to remove the
DevOps tools.
complexity and make it a more easy and visual so we can find out the
Correct. See, at the end of the day, when some blockage is happening, at the end of the day, there is no water coming to you into your home. There is some blockage. Now you will call the expert. You do not know where the blockage is. Correct. To understand that, you have to rip apart whole of this like pipelines and see like where is the problem. Correct.
yeah.
That is what happens with an application. What is happening, right? If the application is not working, if it is goes down on something, even this developer guy is not able to identify what is the problem. There was no monitoring tools. There was no proper testing tools. Okay. This was when the waterfall model, right? This is very complex to identify. That is when this complete model, okay, was replaced by something called, which was very transparent. For example, if there is any blockage in this transparent pipeline, okay, what do? You are able to see that blockage, correct?
Right.
You are able to see that blockage and you will fix it then and there itself, right? Instead of like disturbing the whole of the pipeline, right?
Yeah.
This is what exactly we do in DevOps. What is DevOps? It's all about like converting a complex pipeline like this into a transparent pipeline like this is called as DevOps in very simple words. Okay. Now, if you see it in a diagrammatical fashion, can you see the infinity symbol? This is where maybe initially there was fight between operation team. As we see here, there was fight between operation team and development team. Constant. This infra guy, operation, this admin guy, like BRE. What do you mean BRE? Build release engineer. He says that the development guy is not doing the proper team. These teams are not working properly. The development team says that we have deployed it properly. We have tested on a server. If you want, come and see here. I will show you. But your server, your infra admin guys are not handling properly. There's too much constant this thing. Both are not wrong. But only thing is the system, the process, what was followed was wrong. That is when a culture. Okay, if anybody tells is DevOps is a tool, no, DevOps is not a tool. It's a culture. Culture of collection of tools, concepts, anything and everything which makes the work like software development lifecycle more easy. This is where development and operations team collaborated together. For example, after the testing is done, okay, they will ask for a help. Okay, please, testing is done, please deploy it. Okay, the operation team will take care of it. Okay, then they will monitor if everything is right and monitor, and they will also do the maintenance of everything. If any kind of error is there, again, they will send it back to the development team. Please look into it. There is some bug. They will only send the part which has the bug, not the whole application. Okay, this is how it is made more effective. What was the problem with waterfall model? It was very complex. Okay, lot of manual work, long time, can't deliver on time, cost increase, quality decreased. Okay. So now tell me, what are the advantages of DevOps? Maybe right so far, whatever you have understood, anybody can unmute yourself and talk. Let's keep it very interactive and a real-time basis. We'll not go into like some high-level interaction. Let's go on a ground level. First of all, they should understand the practical aspects in a very ground level. After that, implementing, getting to a technical level, we can do that in further classes. Okay?
Sure. So as you have explained, so it seems like the DevOps is the process when we make the development applications part in the seamless and with the transparent, so we can resolve the issues whatever the client side is they are facing, and we can easily identify them and we can rectify them and we can keep improve the applications and production part as well.
Right, it's cool. Maybe one more example I will give you. The waterfall model. Once if the water falls from top to bottom, again if the application comes from top to bottom, again if there is even a single error in an application, if the application is not running, whole of the application needs to go up.
Right.
Right. But in DevOps, You need not send the whole of the application, because as we see in DevOps, there is something called as monitoring tools also we have introduced, correct? We'll monitor, which is very transparent. We'll only send those part of the code or application which are not working, as simple as that. So in short, what do you mean by DevOps? This is the definition. Can anybody read this out?
Which aim to
Yeah,
shorten the software
little bit louder and clear.
The DevOps which aim to shorten the software development life cycle and provides continued delivery with high quality software and low cost.
Correct.
Okay.
The main point is faster at a lower cost.
Right.
This is what we want. At the end of the day, we cannot wait it for like months together for the software to deploy and get it delivered. Right. This is when DevOps was formed. Maybe. See, what are the main advantages of DevOps? If you say easy automation. For example, whatever the tasks are repetitive, we are automating it.
Okay.
Right?
Can I ask
Yeah.
a question, please?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, DevOps works commonly between AWS and Azure.
Yeah, we'll be coming to this cloud DevOps part one by one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, maybe there are slight differences because maybe cloud platforms more or less give the same kind of functionality. But for example, in Azure, we call it as Azure Storage for the storage account. Maybe it's the same thing we call it as EC2 in AWS, right? A slight
So
difference.
I have a question, Fazal.
Yeah.
Say DevOps means only DevOps main priority is resolving the issues, right? Or DevOps will maintain the application in the server, or
Maintaining they will not do. For example, see, there is a little bit of confusion. Okay. So what we are trying to do is that there will be separate teams for it. For analysis and all, there will be a BA team, right? Business analyst team, right? For our development, there will be development team. There will be front-end development team. There will be back-end development team. There will be different teams, correct? For testing, there will be manual testing team, mobile application testing team, all kind of testing team, API testing, all will be there. In deployment, we'll be having deployment team also. Maintenance and support team will also be there. As a DevOps engineer, we are not, DevOps engineer is not part of any of this team. Okay, he's only responsible for making the flow very effective by building pipelines and automations.
Okay.
Got it? So he's not.
My doubt is, you see, when it is coming to the software development life cycle, first analyzing, designing, development, testing, and deployment is there, right? So DevOps engineer will come to the picture after deployment only, right?
Correct. See, continuously there is like remember, continuously there is a application being development. That is the philosophy we are applying, right? It may not be there. There are like for example, when you talk about planning, there are sprints. Maybe right, there are two approaches. That one is like agile approach and scrum approach. I think right, most of your companies will apply, right? For example, there is a feature, you don't develop whole of the application all at once, right? There is a sprint. What the sprint duration is around like 52 weeks, correct?
Correct.
Right, we don't wait till the whole of the application is completed, right? That is why we are transforming ourselves from like normal waterfall model into a DevOps part.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Maybe, and most of us, when we have, now let's talk about, so can anybody tell what do you mean by CI and CD? You guys might have heard about like CI CD from a long time, right? CI/CD pipeline. Most of the projects interviews are asking like to build on CI/CD pipeline. You need to work on CI/CD pipeline. Let's talk about it. That. So can anybody tell what is CI first? You may be wrong. Try to express yourself.
Continuity integration, continuity development.
Yeah, continuous integration, continuous deployment.
Deployment.
Correct. What do you mean by continuous integration?
For example, when we develop the code, it will automatically, continuously, it will integrate to or
simple. Let's maybe you are right. You are in the right track. For example, when we talk about an application like what you call Redbus, there are multiple pages. There will be multiple teams will be working on different features. Correct.
Yeah.
Right. When we work on different teams, For example, let's talk about team 1 is working on feature number 1. Team 2 is working on feature number 2. Team 3 is working on feature number 3. Team 4 is similarly n number. All this codes has to be integrated during this pipeline by doing the automation. This integration is done by a DevOps engineer. Development part is done by a developer. This integration is done by a DevOps engineer. What they will do, they will integrate it here.
Okay.
Continuously on a real-time basis, okay, by running automation script, right, by using different tools. This part of continuously integrating the code, okay, is called as CI. Okay. Now let's come to the CD part. Like now the this part is done by development. Now during the deployment, just tell me, once the application is developed, is it deployed on one server or like multiple servers?
No, multiple server.
Why not one server?
Because we should have a backup plans and a fault tolerance at any time. If one server is down, then
Correct.
entire site will be down.
Simple. For example, if we needed to deploy on one server, there is no need of DevOps only. Correct.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, when we discussed on the first thing, we discussed the same thing, right? This development guy told that I am deploying on my own server. It's working fine. When the infra guy is deploying on like multiple servers, that is when the application is not working. Correct.
Yeah. Right.
This is what the problem this infra guy was telling, right? That is what maybe if there is no problem if we had to deploy on only one server, we no need to even learn DevOps. If there was a need of like only deploying on one server, correct? Why is there is a need of deploying on different? So for example, if we use Netflix, right? We in India use Netflix. If I'm in Australia, I can even access Netflix from there. Okay, I can access Netflix from anywhere. How is it possible? Because the owner of Netflix is in US. That means Netflix company, they have hosted their server on all the data centers across the planet. Correct?
Yeah.
So that right, any customer, anywhere he access, for example, even one data center, for example, here you are. Okay, right now you are accessing the data, you are accessing Netflix from this server, the data center. Okay, and all of this sudden this crashes. Now you have something called as availability in like cloud computing. Again, there is a copy of Netflix application there. It will switch to here. The customer will not even know that some servers has crashed or not. Right. So that is the reason maybe right now what we are trying to do, this application, whatever it's developed, it needs to deploy on multiple server. Server number 1, server number 2, server number 3, server number 4, n number. Maybe it will not keep the count, we'll keep it like deploying it in a simultaneously in all the server. Okay, one by one. There are multiple tools like in inbuilt tools in Azure, we have like inbuilt tools. And like in open source, there are tools like as Dockers and Kubernetes. These are the kind of tools that comes into picture while deploying, right? Continuously deploying into the server, okay? Continuously deploying the application into server, okay, with automation pipelines and everything is called as CD. Okay.
So one is a continuous integration.
Yeah, this is what is called continuous integration and deployment. It seems very easy, but it's not as simple as it seems, because there are like hundreds and hundreds of tools and services you'll be working on during this process. Automation, you'll be working on like different scripting, different tools, maybe different things are there. On a higher level, you should understand what is that. As a DevOps engineer, if an interviewer asks you, what is your role as a DevOps engineer? Your answer should be very simple. As a DevOps engineer, my role is to make a software development lifecycle very efficient. What do? I automate the process of like CI and CD. I have worked personally on project which builds complete pipeline on of CI CD.
Okay.
Okay. This is what in a simple way, this is what we call it as CI CD. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe at any moment of time, if you have doubt it, just compare. For example, right now we are using this Zoom. Okay, what is this example of this? Zoom is a classic example of like software as a service, right? We as company from Coding Superstar, we have got the license of Zoom. We have shared it with you are connecting. We have connected on internet. Are we paying any kind of like, are we maintaining any kind of infrastructure or anything on the cloud? No, right? Everything is managed by cloud vendor. That is the reason it's better. What if the DevOps is done on-prem? It's called as traditional DevOps. If the same DevOps is deployed on Azure or AWS, it's called as Azure DevOps or AWS DevOps. Clear so far?
Okay.
Okay. So let's get to. So now DevOps we talked about, right? From 2019 till now, the growth of DevOps. We see DevOps was actually came into picture in 2010 or so, but it became famous around in the year 2016-17, and from 2019 it's booming. Right now, these are the insights, global market insights of DevOps market and where it's heading towards. Why should you build your career in DevOps? Cloud related to DevOps. Can you see here? Cloud related DevOps is what is holds the majority of the percentage of the market stake. $17 billion. This is where. And can anybody tell me which is the richest company right now on the planet?
Microsoft or Google?
Which is Microsoft, Google is a company, or what? Two companies you are naming? Which is the richest company on the planet right now?
Tesla.
You said it right, the first thing. If you have first answer, you just correct it and answer back.
Apple is the richest one.
Apple was the richest one. Recently, Microsoft took it over.
Microsoft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, Microsoft is the richest company on the planet.
I just recently yesterday saw it has crossed 3 trillion.
Correct. So that is what when we talk about Microsoft, just imagine if anybody if company is the richest company on the planet, it also means that its services are also booming at a very fast pace. Right or wrong?
Right.
When can somebody become rich? Because that all its businesses are booming. Correct. That is when maybe right, even like 95% of the Fortune 500 companies right now are using Microsoft Azure.
Right.
What is the reason? Because it has set the base very good. Because all the OS of majority of the companies are with Windows. Right, that is the advantage. Now the question is, right, why should we get this DevOps into cloud, especially Azure? Now we understood till now like what is DevOps and everything. Now we'll get into what is Azure DevOps. Okay. Now we also got to know DevOps is in boom. DevOps with cloud is the biggest market. Now let's get into Azure DevOps. Okay, fine. Now when we discussed with respect to Azure DevOps, let's summarize it once again. As you see it, development does planning, execution, and testing. Execution is nothing but development. Planning is done by, maybe let's see, when you have management team and everything, there are like different approaches, agile methodology, like Scrum and everything. Like what are the different methods say your company use? Maybe right, it may be agile or Scrum. Okay, and there is something called a sprint. Stories, many things comes into picture when you are planning. All this is done in planning part. Then development and testing. Normally, initially in operation part, what is it? What do you mean by UAT? Anybody quickly? What do you mean by UAT?
User acceptance test.
Right, it's user acceptance test. Okay. Before deploying, okay, so testing is done by a testing team once. Before deploying the application onto a server, it is tested once again by the operation team. That is called as UAT. It cannot just take and deploy. And after UAT is done, it goes live, and then the support start, application support, right? Right? So that like there is no problem of any sort in the application. Initially, there was too much fight between like development and operation team. That is when our DevOps picture came into picture. What it says, planning, execution, and testing. After testing people is submitting the application, please help to DevOps operation team. Operation team takes over in the UAT thing and goes live. And in the support part, they get to know that there are like few feature bugs, like feature number 1, feature number 7 is not working. Again, it's sent back to the planning team. Please help. There is some like bugs in like 2 features. Please take it over. That is when DevOps become a beautiful thing. Now, how do we do the same part in DevOps? That is what we will look. So, can you see the screen? So, how many of you have already used DevOps portal, opened Azure DevOps portal, or worked on Azure DevOps portal? What you see here? Have you? who have already worked on it or completely new to it? You can openly say so that I can open and show you.
I'm completely new to it, and yeah.
Fine. Let's go to the let's go to Azure DevOps portal without wasting much of time. So what you can do, just type Azure DevOps on Google. Okay, first time when you open it, you have to create an account. I've already created an account, so I will click it. Okay, so first time, right, you need not put any kind of credit card or anything when you create an account. Only when you create a services, that is when you put the credit card and everything. So far, without any single rupee waste in incurring any single rupee or using any kind of card, you can create an account. You sign in. Okay.
And for how long we will have access?
See, this thing, Azure gives around like 13,500, close to 14,000 credits free. Okay, that we will use it during your training periods. Okay, for practicing.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll tell you how to use it. You need not invest even a single rupee on this platform. We'll help you how to use it free. Okay, you just search Azure DevOps there. When you search Azure DevOps there is something called as My DevOps Organization. Okay, we get into this organization part. So I have created this. This is what maybe right you when you create an this thing now you can give the name. So this is a test project I have. I will click on this test project. Today we are not doing anything technical. We are only exploring what are the features. So I had shared you the screenshot. Is it does it look similar?
Yeah.
Azure boards, Azure repos, Azure pipeline, Azure test plan, Azure test plans, Azure artifacts. This is how the portal looks like. Now let's go to that page again and discuss what are each of these pages look like according to the features what you have discussed. Okay. Now, are we familiar till this picture? Or is everybody familiar with this picture so far?
Yes.
Okay. You got the clarity, right? Planning we do. Execution means development is done. Testing is done. UAT, going live, acceptance. Now let's see how all these features are implemented over Azure DevOps platform. Okay. So now before getting into this Azure DevOps, let's discuss like what is traditional DevOps. For example, if we are doing all this DevOps functionalities and execution by using open source tools, for example, whatever the DevOps tools what are available, all are open source. Ansible, Jenkins, Kubernetes, Docker. Okay, all these are open source. We are connecting this open source into an application and doing it. It's very complicated, right? It's simple. Like for example, if you are building a new home, once you have bought a new home in some metro cities, now you have got two options. Either to set up everything. Okay, buy the furniture, buy the cot, buy the TV, buy the everything. You do it by yourself. Okay, take it, integrate into your home. That is option number one. Second thing is that you directly move into a furnished home. You just take your clothes. Okay, that's it, and enter into a room, which is more flexible and which is more easy. The second option, right? Instead of you managing everything, you are getting into a like home which is everything ready made. So that is where Azure DevOps comes into picture. It says that you need not break your head for like everything. I have the setup for you for building a CI/CD pipeline, for building the DevOps lifecycle. Okay, building a pipeline. Everything I have, all the features in my platform itself, come and use. Okay, that is where we use this portal called as Azure DevOps portal. So what is the first step? Planning. Planning in Azure portal is done by an option called as Azure boards. Repos, all the development team adding the repos, adding the code, deploying the code, and like all the development team is collaborating in the repos part. Git repos. Okay. And the pipeline, building the pipeline, automating the pipeline, everything is done by the pipeline segment. Okay, all the testing part is done in the test plans. Artifacts is like a executable package, DLLs, everything is done in artifact segment. This is how we do it, execute the Azure DevOps thing on a Azure DevOps portal. So any doubts so far? Hope you are clear so far.
Yeah.
Maybe right. So far, like Azure DevOps seems like what is Azure DevOps and everything. but this is what we do. What we do in each and every feature of this, we'll discuss, because each and every learning this will itself take around like 2 to 3 months total. Before getting into this, we'll get into the fundamentals of Azure, then get into Azure public cloud. We should learn different services in Azure, how to work on different services. We should know different terminologies in Azure. After that, the final stage, we'll get into this. Before you get into this portal, there are many more things you need to learn. Okay. So now let's move into some lighter topic. So can you tell me, do you guys know the kind of layoffs that are happening from 2023 and what is the major reasons for layoff?
AI and automation.
AI automation, as simple as that, right? Can you give one example of like AI automation, like how AI has taken away the jobs? In one example, simple example.
Yeah, because the most of the repeated task is being reduced by the AI, and the thing that when for the any suppose the task is taking the 10 employee right now, with the help of the AI, the only single person can be do it that.
Yeah. One example, please. Any example. Okay, you gave a very perfect answer. Just real-time example, so that right, we exactly know that how AI is taking away jobs, so that right, we can plan a career accordingly. And also we'll also understand why cloud DevOps related jobs cannot be taken over by AI. We'll also discuss on that. Because at learning, we put so much of effort in learning this thing and everything. All of a sudden, it's
most of AI affected like in the application development part. So like Google have layout so much. Yeah.
Fine. Let's discuss that. Okay. Before going to that, anybody has any kind of question on what we have discussed so far? Just to summarize, maybe just to give you a 360-degree view what we have discussed so far.
I have one query as a network system administrator.
Yeah.
So that is role is specific for application installation and implementation.
Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, like in Azure, some customers asking for the firewall installations, correct?
Correct.
The network, yeah, completely network. So they using as a firewall Azure cloud.
Correct. Say Azure security is a different part. Yes, but by deploying the application, there are a lot of security checks are done. We are not going to deep into that. Correct. Yes, security checks are done. Okay. And there is one more field called as DevSecOps. What does it mean? DevOps. Okay. Plus securities.
DevOps security. Okay.
Yeah, that part is also stressed more because there are certain applications where the security of the data is really important. Correct.
So how long this course will take time to complete this?
So now discussing on that part. Okay. So you can see the screen here.
Yeah, I can.
So for example, right now, as we say, right, we have like before getting into Azure DevOps, we saw the Azure DevOps portal. Before getting into this, we need to be introduced to the world of Azure different services and Azure admin, DevOps, Terraform, and all. Okay. So these 4 parts are mandate for anybody to get a job. Okay. This will take a minimum of 3 months. Along with projects.
Okay. So mostly actually if I talk about my career, I'm the management guy, but I have overall 7 of experience in the IT sector, and the most of things like you are explaining the Azure fundamental and Azure admin. I'm already working in this place. And
then
in
that case, the major thing what you need to aim for is Azure solution for your role. Of anybody who is already a team lead or a manager kind of professional, you need to aim to become a solution
architect solution. Yeah.
Correct. But before becoming a solution architect, you should be aware of all the services underlying with it.
Okay. And parallelly, I have also experience in some coding part, but I never work on real environment. I have learned that like in the Python and JavaScript, HTML, CSS. So I have an overview and I have good understanding I can see on.
Okay.
And I am already keep learning these things as well. I'm also
what happens is that let's get to the point where we are discussing. Okay. So, of like tell me. You can ask your question.
Yeah. So how I can relate with this profile. I mean, I can say how close I am with the Azure DevOps.
Fine. So you say that 7 years of experience. What exactly is your role right now?
Right now, I'm a window admin. You can say window and Azure admin.
Okay, I can call it as senior administrator, right?
Yeah.
You're a senior admin. Okay.
Yeah.
So right now you are in this stage. Now you want to get to a next stage. And are you exposed to cloud? Maybe a little bit of cloud you're already exposed to, correct?
Yeah. Right.
So may I also know what kind of CTC you are expecting and from where you are trying to jump?
So right now, my CTC is 11.
Okay. So
But
what is that you
now,
are trying to expect?
but not this time. I'm just expecting at least 22.
22. Fine.
Yeah.
So on an average, what I can tell that you can expect in the range of 20 to 25.
20. Yeah.
Okay, this is what you expect. Now the thing is that how to do this part, correct?
Yeah.
First thing is, right, you are exposed to all these things. Right now, first thing is, right, learning along with projects. Okay, you have to
Okay.
master till solution architect. This is step number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that
Okay.
you are at a senior role, maybe whatever the next organization you will be getting into, for your level, they will also give you a team to manage.
Yeah. Definitely.
When you are given a team to manage, definitely you should have like management oriented skills. That management oriented skills is nothing but Azure Solution Architect. Also, are you aware of something called as MLM layoffs? MLM layoffs is nothing but mid-level management layoff. What does the companies do? For example, okay, when there are like employees around like who are like experienced and like the package is really high, they try to fire them. Well, there is a cost cutoff.
Okay.
Because right, instead of keeping the MLM people with like 20-30 lakh package, if they lay them off, they can recruit like intermediate people for around like 5 lakh, four people for 5 lakh, correct? Cutting down the cost. Recently, you just type in Google and search like TCS mid-level management firing. You will see thousands of them are laid off.
Okay.
So why I'm telling you this? Because who are the people who got laid off? Who are only having management? They were not having any kind of technical skills. Okay, they were only in the management level. Okay, only for managing, seeing the people whether they're working or not. For such kind of roles are getting demolished. Right. What I'm trying to say is that when you're trying to get from the level from here, you should have 2 skills. One is like management skill. Second one is technical skills. You should also be a technical expert, technically advanced, and also management. In a management wise, also you should be sound. When you have both these things together, that is when you can grow. Not only now with 7 years, even when you reach 15 years of experience, also you will be trending.
Okay.
You will be in demand. Getting my point, right? For that to happen, maybe right, you do that. And while you are applying for a switch, once you learn these things and applying for a switch, out of 7 years of experience, you say that last 2 to 3 years of experience, you are closely and in detail working on building a CI/CD pipeline on Azure DevOps project. And also you are managing certain teams also of like Azure administrators and like system administrators under you. So you see that this automation is done effectively. We'll tell you how to project this, what to tell and everything. Will help you out at the end of the program where you will exactly know what to tell in the interview. So when you do that, you are
I have a question, please.
Yeah, maybe let's finish this question. Let's take it next.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Sorry to interrupt. I actually, sorry, my name is Kirti. And
Kirti, sorry, but maybe there was one question going on. Let's finish that. Let's come back to so that it's a complete cycle, so that there is no two.
Sure.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you. Who was talking? I did not notice the name. 7 years of experience.
Rajiv.
Yeah, Rajiv. Please, let's finish your case. Maybe let's go on to the.
Yeah, sure.
You got the clarity, right? About like what we're trying to tell. So when you do this, maybe easily, maybe right from 11 lakh, maybe right from 20 to 25 is possible. Maybe right in a worst case scenario, you can easily expect at least around 18.
Okay.
See, when you talk about the higher the package, the more complex will be the interviews, right?
Okay, overall in this project, how much like at what level we need we should have like in
whatever the projects we are trying to give you, right? There are even participants who even project 5 years of experience, matching Somebody who has 5 years of experience in Azure, to that level also you can match. See, at the end of the day, it's 3 months. For example, just imagine you take like for this duration till DevOps or something, we are spending around like 100 days from the day you start, right? Every day we are asking you to spend around like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. You are spending 300 hours of effort in something practicing in under the guidance of a senior cloud architect. You are converting this 300 hours of effort into a project and experience. Seems possible, right?
Yeah.
So that is how we will plan. Okay.
I was just
Fine.
asking the coding part, like how should
no, coding part, see, there is no much, see, this is like, that is what we discussed here, right? As you said, like,
Okay.
all the things, if it was like traditional DevOps, that is where we need more and more of coding and scripting and everything, lot of things, right? So here what we are doing, everything we are doing on Azure DevOps portal, correct?
Okay.
We showed the portal, right? This is because Azure is giving you is kind of a SaaS platform, correct? Azure DevOps is a SaaS platform. What do you mean by SaaS? Software as a service. Microsoft is providing. You need not go to open source platforms and do all this, like collaborate with 100 different tools and like do it. Instead of this, come to my platform. I'm giving you all the possible tools and services. Okay, whatever there is in the market, I'm giving you the best. That is why Microsoft is the one of the richest companies right now, right? Because they are understanding the problem of the industry.
Right.
You're getting my point, right?
Yeah.
That this here we only need automation scripts. Automation in the sense we are automating the pipeline, right? For example, when like, there are like hundreds of teams writing, codes are coming into repos. You need to write some like scripts, correct? Automation script, so that at each and every time you don't go and do that part.
Yeah.
Something repetitive task we are automating. That is why the beauty of like DevOps is, right? We are automating the process. We are not doing it each and every time. Because but in like software earlier in waterfall model, each and every time there was a manual work, no automation. Got it, no?
Yeah.
Okay, Rajiv. Okay, Rajiv. Maybe right. If you have more questions, just connect with the team. Maybe they will help you out. Okay.
Sure.
Fine. I think Kirti or somebody else had questions. Please put across.
Yeah, actually, my background, I initially started my career, I completed my CCNA and I started my career with operations. That is as per your SDLC cycle, I was in maintenance.
Okay.
initially. And then I shifted to management where I worked as an analyst and like including with the team for design.
Okay.
Where we used to get requests for new complete line from your POP and a technical line basically integrated for the company, for the airports. I work for CETA, the airline company.
Okay.
So I resigned like 1.5 years back because I had a baby, so I had to take a break.
Okay.
Total, I have 9 years of experience. I started my career in 2014.
Okay.
So now, because I have taken a break and I want to upskill myself to the latest technologies which are in the market.
Kirti, what was your CTC when you took a break?
My CTC was 9.
9 LPA. You said that you started your work in 2014, right?
14, yes.
Okay. And okay, so
one
so now
company. Yeah.
okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So now the question is, maybe right now you were in CCNA at the start, and then you were into a business analyst role. Okay. You totally have like 9 years of experience. Now you have 1.5 years of break. Now you want to get back into IT with something which is very powerful, where you can only grow without looking back. Right.
Yes. Exactly.
Now the thing is that how you can manage this. Your question will be, how can I manage this 1.5 years? Okay.
Yes,
like
and how
what kind of
right now they are artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cloud. These three, technical skills are something which is leading the market.
Correct.
So for me, I am not good in coding, proper coding. Yes, I am good in somewhat, but not exactly.
Fine, Kirti, got your problem, got your challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, see, right now, anybody who is looking to build your career, as Kirti said, you should either build it in either of these two things, career growth. If you want a career growth and you should not be taken away by AI or any other technology, you should think about building your career in one of these two things. Either in build your career in AI, we even call this like machine learning or like data science or like different terms, or you build it in cloud computing. getting into AI related jobs is very complex because you need to learn first to be a master of coding. Number one, you should be good with statistics when you're dealing with data. You should be good with analytics. You should be good with like NLP, natural neural networks. Like there are hundreds of things you need to master. That will bare minimum take 1 year for you to master. If anybody is selling some courses telling that 2 to 3 months I will teach you AI, that is a scam. As simple as that. Now coming back to the second thing in cloud. In cloud, as you know, remember each and every application, what we are like, for example, if you are using the Zoom or like YouTube or like if you're watching cricket on Netflix, cricket on like some like Hotstar or like Jio Cinemas, where like recently India Afghanistan match, 18 crore participants were watching the match. But how was that able to manage? Because of the cloud backed up big, huge servers, right? That is where this cloud computing is the next boom. Now, your thing, Kirti, maybe coming back to your question. Right now, your thing is that you do not have any kind of coding background. Like, how will you be able to? So, first thing is that, as we told, there is no coding in Azure DevOps because we are using portal-based approach or technology tool-based approach, right? You'll be needing scripting languages. Scripting in the sense you will be needing minor scripting of like Linux you'll need and shell scripting. How to do this? Even if you do not know it, do not worry. We will even include this into the program. You will not need Linux skills to an extent where you become a Linux administrator. Only to an extent where you can write the automation. Why do we need Linux? Anybody?
Yeah, because it is a very, we can say, the seamless operating system. It is very easy to handle.
It's simple because most of the companies believe that Linux is more secure.
Yeah.
Okay, because any kind of security related, maybe for example, even related to cyber security and all, every cyber security guy will operate on a Linux operating system, correct? Because some companies have this philosophy with Linux is in that case, we need to know how to operate in Linux, right? Shell scripting we'll be using in automate. These are the only two parts. If you're not going with open source DevOps tools, these are the only kind of scripting will be needed. We're working on this. Okay. Kirti, hope you are with me right now so far.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so these are the only two things. So no need to worry because there are roles which will involve coding. There are roles which do not involve coding. The industry is very huge. Okay, for example, if there is like 10,000 jobs, okay, there are even DevOps roles around 2,000 DevOps roles which will involve coding. I'm not telling that DevOps will completely come without coding. There are roles which will involve coding. There are even like 5,000 roles, okay, which will need no coding like this. Okay, maybe if you talk to a DevOps if you talk to a DevOps expert, some of your friends may tell that who said DevOps needs no coding. I'm working on DevOps, I'm working on coding. Right? You should ask in a very unbiased way. You should stay in a neutral standpoint. You should see the complete picture, right? Maybe if anybody is saying that describe the apple. Somebody says that apple is red, apple is like soft, apple is this. Okay, maybe 10 people can tell 10 different features. You should listen to a person who says in a holistic point of view, in an unbiased way, right? So that is what. Maybe so that is what. Do not fear. Maybe anybody triggers you by telling that DevOps requires so much of coding and you are do not know coding, you will be stuck, you'll not be able to do that. Do not believe that because there are many jobs which does not involve codings in DevOps. Okay, now coming to your point. So now you have 1.5 years gap. Once you learn or put work on the projects, maybe 1.5 years is not a big deal. Maybe at any moment of time, most of the mothers are given liberty. IT industry understand them. I would not recommend to put any kind of fake experience or anything for 1.5 years. You just tell genuinely, this is what the scenario is, and just tell them before you stopped your work, you were also given opportunity for like 1.5 to 2 years to work on this Azure DevOps.
Right. Okay.
Right.
And just to add on, in this duration, I actually almost completed my cloud computing backend program. As I said, the coding that was completely coding. Full stack development, I would basically name it into one full stack development with the Spring Boot coding and
Fine,
using
simple. Let's stop here. I will put across one more point. Yeah. How many of you know about black box? Not black box text testing, black box AI.
Just heard.
Okay, black box AI is simple. Right now, How much time will it need for you to code a application? For example, right now you have a plan. Okay, like some of your friend comes to you and tell that I have a t-shirt design. I'm a t-shirt designer. I have like 1,000 design. Okay, build me a website to sell this t-shirts. Okay, like how much time will you take to build a website for him?
Manually, it will take time, long time.
Manually, it will take time, right?
Yeah.
Now, with the help of AI, you can do it in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
How to do that? Okay, that is where we will use the different tools. Let's explore like Blackbox. Can you see this tool? This is a free tool. After this session, just open it and like blackbox.ai. Okay. What we are trying to do is, right, for example, if I want to build an application like our application, Coding Superstar application, what I did is, right, I just take the screenshot of my application. Can you see the screenshot here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have just added the screenshot and just given the code. Given the prompt, give me the front end code for a screenshot attached, and you have the code. Was it so simple before AI?
No.
Above this, you can do any kind of alteration. See, it is separated thing. One is like HTML code; it has given separately, and like this like CSS code is also
CSS.
given.
Yeah.
CSS is also given separately. How accurate is that, right?
Hmm.
This is just the baby version of AI. The AI revolution has just started. You have seen like a dinosaur Jurassic Park movies and all, right? in that initial movies, even the small dinosaur, okay, is very scareful, correct?
Yeah. So it can also give the backend code as well, right?
Correct. Like backend, we have like ChatGPT only directly gives us, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, backend. Okay, so if maybe right, if you go to this, if you just ask to ChatGPT, give me a Python code for calculator, ChatGPT only directly gives. Even that gives maybe right for. But right now, ChatGPT does not have an option of giving like screenshot as an input. Right? Because next version of ChatGPT will also demolish the job role of data analyst also. Can you tell me how? What does the data analyst do? Data analyst analyzes
Analyze the data.
Data. For example, right, as a company, I have like 5 years old data of all the customers and everything. I need to analyze. Okay, what kind of customers is buying the most? Right? I give this data. Okay, I give that data to my data analyst, and he will give me the report. Sir, this is the kind of customer, maybe like customer with the age group of 35 to 40, okay, who is living in Bangalore, this area, who has the behavioral economics of this. This is the kind of person who will be your ideal customer, right? So instead of that, what I can do in the next version of ChatGPT is, right, there will be an option of like uploading the data or Excel file into ChatGPT. And you can give a prompt like this, like we gave it to this image screenshot, right?
Yeah.
We can give a screenshot like, now I need to increase my sales. I'm planning to promote my product number A and B. Okay, give me the plan to do that. Is it not powerful? Do you need a data analyst for that?
Yeah.
It is demolishing the rules like anything, right? I'm not telling all of a sudden data analyst job will become 0, but if there are 100 data analyst requirements, it will reduce to 5.
Yeah, right.
Right, it's simple, right? Right, if there are like 1,000 people in one side and 10 people in other side, 1,000 people with a sword on like a knife, and like 10 people with a machine gun, who will win? Machine gun. As simple as that. These are the powerful tools. People who use these tools win. As simple as that. Yeah, even Elon Musk has clearly stated it's not like AI. People who know how to use AI will be more powerful, become more and more powerful. Like you talk about backend code, for example, we can just give the instruction on like give a Python code for calculator. Within seconds, you'll have this kind of code. For anybody to learn Python, it will take around like 1 month, 1.5 months, right? Again, like even a minor kind of if you are not putting semicolon or anything, again an error to fix the error again takes time. This thing, if you just copy and paste it in the compiler, you are getting the ready-made answer, right?
Yeah.
Life was never as simple as it is right now. Right?
After AI.
Yeah, this is the AI age. Only thing is that we have to make AI our friend, not our enemy. If you know how to use these tools and all, you are in a very powerful state. So this is how the automation is taking place. Front-end developers' jobs will also vanish very soon, right? I'm not saying 100%, but it will drastically reduce. Okay, just tell me if you are Rajiv, if you are tech lead, okay, maybe right, your CEO comes and tells you, this is the kind of project we need to develop. We need like 100 Java developers. Now you have the power of ChatGPT. Will you recruit 100 people or like recruit 10 people and teach them how to use ChatGPT and AI tools?
Yeah, definitely. As a project manager or either lead, I will definitely think about the company profit. So definitely, why should I have 100?
Cutting down the cost, right?
Yeah.
As simple as that. This is what will happen, even for front end and all the things. Okay. Fine. Maybe right. That is what it is. So why we discuss this? I think like Kirti, we came back to the point. Kirti, you are here.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Maybe let's see each and every point when we are coming this point, we are discussing the details then and there itself. So you said that you learned full stack development, correct?
Yes, right.
We now proved that how development backend and front end can be automated with AI. You're getting my point?
Yes, I know.
So what? It doesn't mean that whatever you learned will go west, but that will also be useful in some other way. Okay, but that cannot be an active job role.
And as well, it is difficult. I'm also learning the back full
Correct.
stack.
Yeah. It's difficult also. See, if something can be automated, try to predict that. If the job what you are trying to get into, can that be automated? If that can be automated, learn something which automates the task, which leads the industry.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is how it goes. So Kirti, in your case, maybe right after learning this projects and all, just tell them that you have 1 or 1.5, 2 years of experience on this line, and then apply for the interviews.
Okay.
1.5 years, not a problem. That's not a big gap. We have even seen participants with like 3 years gap, okay, get into the market, okay, showing it transparently. 1.5 years is nothing.
Well, I have a query. This is Rajiv Sharma.
Yeah, Rajiv, please go ahead.
I am having 15 years of experience approximately, and currently I am the senior manager working for my company right now. My project is over. That's done. Although I'm not a developer anymore. But
Okay.
I'm always trusted with the application support, operations management kind of thing. Okay.
Okay.
Although worked on each phase of it, but not the developer side.
Okay.
For me, what you suggest means how this is going to help me in my.
Okay. So Rajiv, you said 15 years of experience.
I've always been associated in the traditional model of development in sports. So this cloud is a bit newer thing for me. I've never worked on the cloud directly, although the installation and the deployment thing happens on the cloud side. But for me, that's a simple Windows server. Whenever we log in, we can directly log into the Windows console and check things, right?
Yeah.
So for me, that's the theory. So tell
Okay.
me from my standpoint.
Okay. So Rajiv, more or less, you have been a development oriented guy, right?
No, I have never done any kind of coding. I did coding way back in 2008 and 9. That's some application, but after that, I have always been into the application support role. Then I moved to the team lead, team manager, project manager kind of thing. Wherein now mostly into the business part of the system. Okay. Currently, my project, I'm working with Blackstone right now, and my project is over here. So I just want to upskill myself. So that is why I am here.
Okay.
So now tell me how it's going to help me out.
Fine. Rajiv, first thing is right, maybe with your experience of 15 years, okay, maybe at any moment of time when we choose a skill, okay, we have to also choose based on the experience also.
Exactly.
Experience and the kind of roles we are doing, right?
Yeah.
So maybe right, as you're an expert, the main target for you, maybe right, as we discussed when we are discussing with one more Rajiv, as we know, right, whenever we are getting into a like powerful role of management, okay, previously only a manager role could have survived. Right now, manager role, okay, along with some like strong technical skills are very much important to survive, right?
Exactly.
So these are two mandate things. Now the management oriented skills you have right now, what kind of skills will help you right now? As we can see here, Azure Solution Architect is what you can aim for, what you must aim for.
Okay.
This is what puts extra weightage to your profile. Along with this, we'll also suggest you get certified on AZ 305. Okay,
AZ?
this says AZ 305. this is a certificate for Microsoft Certified Solution Architect. Okay. Where previously there were two papers in it. One is a 303, 304. One was for designing, second one for implementation. Now what they have done, Microsoft has blended, merged both the certificates together.
Okay, so what's needed to do this certificate and how this will help me out?
Okay, first of all, whenever anybody, whenever you're talking about architect of any field, first of all, an architect also should know all the underlying services. Correct.
Exactly.
Only after that he can design. Correct. Similarly, that is when we will get started from this line. This from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, fundamentals, admin, DevOps, Terraform. Because here you'll be exposed to different services in like Azure admin. You'll be exposed to different services in Azure. Okay, there are like hundreds of services. You will be know how to work on different services. Like and DevOps, you'll be working on. We discussed about the DevOps part. You'll be also exposed to it. And once you get your hands dirty with all these projects and services and labs and everything, then you will be eligible to become a solution architect. Because you also understand what a ground level person is doing.
Do 305 certificate. Do I need to complete all the certifications or
no? Maybe what we suggest you is right. First, give the certification for 900.
Okay.
There is no mandate that Microsoft doesn't say that for you to get into 305, you have to complete level 1, 2, 3, 4 and only get into 305. No.
Okay.
Microsoft doesn't have such kind of rule. You can directly write 305. Only reason because why we are suggesting 900 is because 305 is difficult.
Okay.
It's not tricky. It's not difficult. I can tell you it's tricky.
Okay.
Okay.
So
it's not like straightforward kind of thing.
The kind of questions they asked regarding around the Windows servers and
for that what will be asked and everything, like we will prepare you. You need not to worry about that part.
Okay.
Okay, what to prepare, what to prepare. There will be the score will be for out of 1,000 here.
Okay.
Out of 1,000 passing mark for you to get certified, you need to score 700.
Okay.
Okay, 700 and the certification cost. Maybe as we are talking about certification, I will also tell you the certification cost. It's around like 5K INR.
5K for solution architect.
Any certification in Azure, it is around like 5K. Along with GST and everything, it comes around like 6K.
Okay.
Okay. So you pay this amount to Microsoft, book your exam and write the exam.
What is the validation for the certification?
Approximately, sometimes it will be 1 year, sometimes 2 years. Microsoft keeps on saying minimum 1 year it will be there. See, even though validation expires, you had the certification, but once if you have the proof that you have already certified previously, also that also says a lot of things about you.
Yep, certification. Other than that, if genuine certificate is there and then the experience is there, then that just works.
See, and one more thing I will tell you, certification is an added advantage. It's not everything. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
But your underlying skills on projects, on the as a solution architect, as a DevOps engineer, as a Azure different services, how you work on, that is really important. Okay.
Okay.
Raju, hope you got
I have a query, please.
Raju, hope you got the clarity.
Yep, I'm done.
Okay, fine. And Kirti, maybe I did not ask you. Hope you are clear with your use case. How you need to plan.
Yes. I'm
okay.
clear.
If you have any questions, please put it back. And like I think Uruj or somebody was trying to speak.
Yeah, myself.
Yeah, Uruj, please.
Yeah, I wanted to ask to companies who have already moved to cloud or want to move in it, they can go either with AWS or Azure, right?
Correct.
So, I mean, is this certification or the course to get is sufficient, or do everyone has to master or have the experience of AWS DevOps as well?
Got it. Uruj, what is your experience, please?
Actually, I have a different profile. I have more than 15 years experience of like overseas. I was working in Middle East, but I was working in office administration side. I do have some experience in IT.
Okay, so you work with Office 365. This is what you work with.
No, I'm a non-IT. Although I did long back, but I'm office administration. I was working with top management of like MNCs over there, Lamar, like that.
Fine. Good that Uruj, you brought up this question. With this thing, I will also answer this question for multi-cloud DevOps. Okay. Fine. So right now, right, the question is that whether like we have like three major players in the market in cloud. Okay, first is like AWS. These were the ones who started. Second is Azure. Okay. Third is
Google.
GCP. Correct. But GCP is just booming now. Okay, the job opportunities are very negligible. Maybe this will be GCP will boom within like next 18 months, 1.5 year. Okay. Till then, we'll not consider this because the number of job opportunities are, it's just booming. It's just a baby now. It's not yet big. So right now, we'll not focus. I'm not telling that there are not jobs. There are jobs, but you will not get more number of interview calls. That is saying. And AWS were the market leader. Right? They were the ones who started in the year 2010, right? So 5 years back, anybody learned even basics of AWS also, they would have got a job. Right now, getting into AWS, because we are running batches on AWS DevOps also Azure DevOps. We are seeing that Azure DevOps students are getting around like 10-15 interview calls per month. Whereas right, AWS DevOps, majority of the JDs in the market are expecting around like 5+ years of experience. So as a beginner, there will be a kind of a bit of struggle for you to get interview calls. I'm not saying that there are no interviews, but interviews are not frequent. The same thing with Azure. Maybe on a worst case scenario also, you can expect around like 10 years of 10 interview calls with minimum projecting around like 2 years of experience. I think whoever is there in this call, everybody will be capable to project around like 2 years of experience with the training what we provide. That we can guarantee. If you with this session will also be recorded. Recorded session will be also passed to you. You can keep this as a proof when I have talked this. Okay. So that is why, Uruj, we are focusing on Azure to get started with. Now the question is, what is the difference between Azure and AWS? Can anybody tell?
Both are the cloud platform.
Okay. What is the major difference? This is a common question, right? Which is better, AWS better or Azure better? Like these are the common questions, right? Both are cloud platforms. So simple thing is that if anybody asks this kind of questions, I ask a simple question. You use like this thing, right? You order food on Zomato, right? Okay. So what is the difference between Zomato and Swiggy?
Offers better service.
Better offers, better service. Maybe like sometimes there is some differences in UI. Zomato app has different features.
Yeah.
Swiggy app has different features. At the end of the day, what is the end service? What they're offering? Both are same.
Yeah. Delivering
right.
the food.
Delivering the food. That is the main thing. Correct. That is happening. Okay. So same thing. Even all the cloud platforms are delivering the similar kind of services. Only thing is that sometimes Zomato cost will be higher. Sometimes Swiggy cost will be higher. The margins what hotels pay to the Zomato people may be higher than what Swiggy people pay. These are the small dynamics will differ. In Azure, and for storage account, we call it as Azure storage. In AWS, we call it as EC2. Right? So once we get started, right now, we would not recommend you to learn all the technologies, all the Azures all at once. Start by learning Azure, become perfect in it. Okay. As we have a saying, right? You should not put your legs in both boats, right? You should first perfect on one thing, right? You start with Azure, perfect with it. Once you have working on Azure, you got a job around like 6 months or 1 year, you worked on it. Then you can learn GCP or AWS. You need not even take up any kind of training. You can learn by yourself. Because it is like self-explanatory. Once you know to use Zomato app, you will know how to use Swiggy app. Right or wrong?
Right.
Similarly, don't we have to make it very simple. Let's not complicate it. Okay. If we complicate it in a mind, right? Okay, 90% of the solution problems are solved. Right. You have to simplify it, not complicate it. Sorry, you have to oversimplify it. Okay. Then when you work on, like for example, most of the companies have like use for the project, they use both AWS and Azure. Why? Because some services are cheap with AWS, some services are like effective with Azure. When a company or a project is using both the clouds, okay, along with DevOps, it is called as multi-cloud DevOps. Right? Multi-cloud DevOps is also this next big thing. For you to become a multi-cloud DevOps, you have to take the first step of mastering one cloud, which is the first cloud you need to master to get more number of interview calls, that is Azure.
Okay.
Right? And also most of the, in YouTube videos, if you search there, most of the YouTube videos say that Azure AWS is good, and like just see the date of that video. It is like 1 year or 2 years old. So right now, whatever we are talking, it is live. This is not a recorded session. I'm not recorded. I'm live person, right? Fine.
So
I think yeah, maybe right. Anybody has any kind of questions? I think that we discussed multiple points. If anybody has any kind of questions, please put up.
yeah, I have one thing for regarding this program. So we will learn a live projects while we are also
Correct.
learning this
Correct.
thing. Yeah.
Correct. Projects at the end will spend around 2 to 3 weeks or around 1 month only for projects.
Okay. And total
Project sessions, resume building sessions, interviews, for end of the session, we are completely focusing on that. Okay. Because only having skills, and if you do not know how to market, it doesn't make sense, right? There are two things. We have to innovate ourselves, like make ourselves in par with the market, and also we should know how to market ours. We'll
Right.
teach, we'll cover both the things, because there are a lot of professionals who are really skilled, okay, but they do not know how to market themselves. Have you come across them? Right. So there are a lot of professionals whose skills are 40%, but they know how to talk in a promising way during the interviews, and they end up taking very good hikes from 15 lakh to 30 lakh, 35 lakhs, 10 lakhs to 25 lakhs. Have you come across such kind of profiles? Right. There are possibility. At the end of the day, skills also matter. Along with that, what kind of promise or commitment with conviction you make the interviewer or your team lead or a technical manager believe, that you should make them believe that no matter whatever the kind of job you are given, okay, you will figure out the solution even if you do not know the answer, even you don't know the answer. Okay. That is a step by step. It's all about, it's about skill set plus mindset. Most of the training programs only focus on skill set, right? If you this slide, we give majority of the preference to 80% mindset. If you focus on this mindset part, okay, then 20% of the skill set, how to approach any kind of problem. You know how you are a good problem solver. Okay, if you become a problem solving person, right? No matter what kind of situation you are thrown into, you will come out of it. Okay, yeah, guys. Maybe any kind of questions anybody has, please put across. Ramu, Srinivas, Rajiv Shukla, Praveen, MU. I think like few of you have not talked yet. If you have any kind of questions, please put across.
Yeah, hi Abdul. I have one question.
Yeah.
So
Ramu, right? Yeah.
yes,
Ramu, you introduced at the very start, and you are coming at the climax.
yeah. Till now you told about that DevOps, right?
Yeah.
So could you please explain that DevOps tools? Like there are so many tools present in the DevOps, right? Like Terraform, Ansible. So could you please briefly explain
Yeah,
those?
Ramu, what we are trying to do is, right, in this session, we are not touching more of technical. Okay. Maybe what you can do is that tomorrow again, there possibly there might be a session at 6 o'clock. It will be completely technical.
Okay.
Okay, technical. Maybe just request our team. They will share you the link. Right, for understanding, this is more than sufficient. You will start from very scratch. That will go on a very advanced level for those who are already a kind of DevOps engineers. Okay. For most of you, I don't think so. You must attend tomorrow's session. But Ramu, as you feel that you want to explore that DevOps tool, please attend. Just check with the team. You will be given link. You can attend that. You will be given all the details about tech in a technical way. Okay. Maybe right, if we talk about DevOps tools and everything, it will not relate to majority of them here.
Okay. Right.
Okay, Ram. Thank you.
Thank
Yeah, guys. Maybe anybody else. And before ending up this session, just to want to hear each one of you, like what was a key takeaway for you from this session? Can we start with Rajiv Shukla?
Yeah, sure. So the major key, I'm looking for the change. Now I have put it paper as well, and I saw most of time I have seen like the DevOps in the trending in the market. There is majority. I have seen the search when I was searching the job. There is a engineer, even
Okay.
my organization everywhere. So I thought let's do it for that. So yeah, I just also wanted to know what is the total duration of this course.
Okay, you wanted to know the duration of this program, is it?
Yeah.
So till DevOps and Terraform, fundamental urban DevOps Terraform, it will take along with projects. Okay, along with projects, it will take 3 months. Okay, maybe you can start attending interviews. I can tell you after 1.5 months only you can attend.
Okay.
But completely 360 degree, everything will be done in 3 months.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.